Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Noteless podcast. This is Ishan, and today with me is one of my dearest friends in the world, Lance Oribello.
What's
Lance, for
up?
Lance, for those who don't know you yet, who are you? What kind of projects do you do? And where are you based out of?
Hey, I'm Lance Oribello. I'm an actor, improviser. I like to do musical improv and freestyle rapping. I'm based in Toronto.
Perfect. So, Lance, like you do musical improv and acting, and I know that's like a very unique intersection of music and theater. So let's go step by step. How did you first get into musical theater? Sorry, theater. What was your first time on stage, and what was your first exposure to any musical elements in theater?
Oh man, that's so many questions all in succession. Um, I really loved musical theater in high school. For a while, musicals were like the only thing I listened to, and like no other music, which is kind of insane. First time I saw like a real musical theater show was The Book of Mormon in New York when I was like 13 years old with my mom.
Nice, yeah.
For those that don't know, it's like a very crude musical, with very dark humor, but there's a lot of heart in it. Um, but yeah, watching that, seeing how music could tell a story and
Right.
also be really funny and have this overarching narrative was really cool. So I really dove into it. What other questions were there? First time I was on stage, probably with the U of
Yeah.
T improv team, which I joined around the pandemic. Started off doing a lot of Zoom improv, but eventually when it moved to in person, I started doing a lot of shows there. Then
That's interesting. You started improv online? I never
a
knew
little
that.
bit. I did like some improv in person a little bit beforehand, but when I started doing it more regularly and consistently, it was mostly on Zoom, which is
That's
insane.
also something like I personally thought that you have done a bunch of talent shows in high school, but
Talent
different.
shows.
Yeah. No, like you did?
No, no.
Okay, so you were just a
I didn't
consumer of the
really.
arts. Yeah.
I was just a patron for the longest time. I didn't really do
Yeah.
anything performance related until I hit university, like in my later years at university. I did like Model UN in high school and debate.
That's pretty interesting. So was it something in the back of your mind always, or was it something you just literally took up on random because you saw a class?
Improv? I guess not entirely random because I've also been playing Dungeons and Dragons for like 10
True.
years,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of improv in its own right. Building stories and playing a whole bunch of different characters. Like I've been the dungeon
Yeah.
master, so I'm making all the worlds and playing all the NPCs and doing stupid voices. And
Yeah.
doing little bits within the games kind of like
Yeah,
drew me
no,
to the
I've
idea of
seen you
improv.
do bits. I've seen you do bits since like first year of college. I think you always had a talent for it. And yeah, I hope I inspired you sometimes
Oh,
forever. Yeah.
of course.
So, okay, so like we did a bunch of just like random jams with your bass guitar and all. So at what point did you, in your improv journey, did you start, like what was your first time when you were like, okay, yo, hey, musical theater, musical improv, this is something I want to jump into right away. When was
Oh
that?
man. I mean, I used to take this class at Bad Dog Comedy Theater called Short Form Studio Series, where we learned a bunch of short form games. And my teacher there was Ryan Sheedy, and he had me like
Shout out.
doing freestyle rapping for the first time, which
Okay.
is pretty sweet. And I discovered that I could, I was pretty quick with coming up rhymes
Yeah.
on the fly. And eventually, Ryan Sheedy was my duo partner for the world's biggest improv tournament, where we freestyle rap every round. So that was pretty sweet to get to do that
Yeah.
with
Tell
him.
me more about that. Like how many rounds were in the world's best improv tournament and
World's
what exactly is the
biggest.
structure? Yeah, world's biggest.
No, the world's biggest improv tournament. I think like 100 something plus teams of people, teams of two, compete for audience votes to ascend through the tournament, and every team has like 7 minutes to do their own thing every round. Um, and what me and Chidi decided to do was freestyle rap. Um, we do a normal improv scene. At any point, the judge could yell out "kick it," and then a beat would play. Then we'd have to start rapping.
Was the theme of that tournament rap, or was it your
No,
only the one doing that?
I think we were the only rappers in that. I think, or maybe there
Okay.
was another. I think I don't know, but every act had their own like gimmick or quirk, or some people just did straight improv, which is respect.
Yeah, that's yeah, like because you've done straight improv before in the same tournament, and then like this is your second time. So,
Hmm.
okay, so for listeners who are budding improv artists who want to probably get into these tournaments, what's your advice to them, or do you have any pipelines for like how can they enroll into these tournaments, or what's the eligibility for them?
Oh man, I mean the tournament is like the only big competitive thing in Toronto. I guess there's also the Globehead tournament as well. But the world's biggest improv tournament, anyone can sign up. It
Okay.
has like a whole range of experiences from people just starting out to veterans. Um, but I mean, any tips for new people getting into improv? I guess just try and go out and see as many shows as possible. Go out and try to do as many jams as possible. Just being on stage and getting reps from stage time, you'll learn so much more than just theorizing about it in classrooms. But
Yeah,
please do
that
take
sounds
classes too, because you meet so many different people and get exposed to so many different styles.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if any listeners interested, Lance's information would be down in the caption, so you could always hit him up for advice. He's happy to help. So Lance, moving on from the rap lyrics, sorry, freestyle rap. When did you start seriously getting into musicals? I know you've done a couple of musicals last year, and you're getting into some projects this year. So first, tell us about those projects,
Hmm.
and which ones did you like doing the most, and like which ones are you excited about?
Hmm. Oh man, I mean, last year I did like not Hamilton improvised, where as part of the Blockbuster Week Festival and also Comedy's Art Festival, where
Nice.
essentially for the entire show, either 30 minutes or an entire hour, we play the soundtrack of Hamilton, the musical.
No, I
Um,
don't. Can you give me two lines about that? I really don't. Yeah.
are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I'm not
crazy.
from Canada. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, Hamilton is a great American story.
Okay.
It's about one of the founding fathers of the United States of America. And it's a fully rapped slash sung through musical. There's only very sparse bits of dialogue in it, but it's otherwise entirely rapped or sung. And it's about the life of Alexander Hamilton, who's a founding father.
Okay.
And so the concept of the show that I produced was we took like 30 minutes or 1 hour, depending on which show it was, of playing just the soundtrack, and then we'd have to improvise lyrics over that soundtrack based on a suggestion from the
But the
audience.
story has to be same, like close to the original, or is there
No,
a twist
no.
on the story?
So
Yeah.
the first time we did it, we got the suggestion of Popeye from the audience. Then we like learned
Like the
the
Sailor
audience.
Man or the
Yeah,
fried
Popeye the
chicken?
Sailor Man. No,
Okay, nice.
not the fried chicken.
Okay.
Um, no, and then we ended up doing an entire musical about Popeye and the characters in his life, all set to the tracks of the Hamilton soundtrack.
Okay, so that's okay. So can you enlighten me on the difference between acting, improv, musical improv, and just musicals? Because all must be different categories.
I mean, I guess so. I guess they all fall under like the umbrella of acting. All of those are all
Yeah,
kinds of performance art. Improv is imp- improvised. There's no script when it comes to improv, so you have to come up with things right on the spot.
fair enough.
Musical improv is when you have to improvise songs on the spot. Come up with lyrics. Usually, there's some kind of musical accompaniment. Accompaniment.
Are there rules around it?
Are there what?
Like, are there any inherent rules you follow in musical improv? Like, for example, lyrics can't be random. It has to be, like
Mm.
inside. Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on who you're playing with. Like, sometimes, like you want to hit the verse, chorus structure. But if
Okay.
it's like a rap style beat, then you could just keep going and keep ciphering. I guess the only rule is try to meet the meet the meter or
Yeah, I guess.
stay
Yeah.
with the rhythm. Otherwise, like it's not going to sound
Yeah.
musical well.
Yeah. And then last is just musicals, like which are
Oh yes, musical theater. Yeah, it's scripted plays with music in them. Whether it's like Hamilton where they sing or rap the entire time, or it's like a regular play but with songs interspersed throughout.
that's pretty interesting. So, like, I know you have like sometimes taken classes for your own, upskilling in improv. So, are there any specific elements or any like, like known techniques you've learned inside musical improvisation that you would
Hmm.
like to share?
For sure. I mean, especially when it comes to rapping or coming up with rhymes on the fly. It's something that Fat Al taught me when I took one of his hip hop classes for the first time. It's like you come up with a punchline word, and then you come up with a
Okay.
word that rhymes with that, and that's the word that you say first before the punchline word. And then you
Is
load
it?
up that couplet in your brain. I'm explaining
Could
it
you
so
could you give
terribly.
an example? If it's not too much to ask, you can take your time.
Sure. Give me like a word. Any word.
Um, Ramen.
Ramen. Oh, that's so easy to rhyme with. um, okay. Let's say your punchline word is noodle. Okay,
Okay.
you want to end the couplet with noodle, and I think, oh, what rhymes with poodle, or what rhymes with noodle? Poodle rhymes with noodle, so I might say something like, "Gonna eat you up, barking like a poodle, slurp you up like a ramen noodle," or some shit like that. I don't know.
Okay. What
Crazy.
the hell? Okay, yeah. No, that's okay. Like I'm starting to get the point of it. I mean, I
hmm
guess, yeah.
Oh man,
Okay.
people are gonna hear that and be like, "This guy raps? What the hell?"
No, I think like it's hard to do it on the spot like that. But then you have to do it like for 20 minutes straight in a fucking tournament in front of like so many people. That's like the hard part. Yeah.
Well, for the tournament, me and Chidi, we only had 7 minutes, and within that 7 minutes, we do like regular improv, and then the judge will call kick it, and then we do like very short songs within that. But Hamilton, that's when we do it for like 30 to an hour straight, which is crazy.
Have you come across artists or like bits or sets of musical improvisation that you've been really like inspired by, like that you even on Instagram or something you thought like that was super cool
hmm
and you would like to try that?
Oh man, let's see, what's really inspiring? The Off Book duo, Jess McKenna and Zach Reno. They're like the king and queen of musical improv. They're really awesome. They've been to Toronto and like sell out huge theaters. Um, and they're probably some of the best musical improvisers in the world.
Okay.
Shout them out.
What Yeah, shout him out. Okay. Yeah, so we can also like talk a little bit more just about improv, not just musical improv. So what other kind of projects are you with like what kind of challenges are you setting up for yourself for the next coming years? You've done so much already. You can talk a little bit about the stuff you've already achieved that you initially set yourself up for and like what you're trying to do next, because that would be interesting to see your success
hmm
ladder.
Oh man, like a big thing that happened this year was I was cast as a understudy for the Second City main stage, which was pretty sweet.
Okay.
And I was pretty lucky to perform a lot. I think like the first opening 2 weeks of the main stage show, I was lucky to go on.
Mhm.
And that was like a really great learning experience. Yeah, I was understudy for the Christmas show as well in the last year, but just going through that stage and being on it, which I always kind of thought
Was
was
that
like
your
the
first one?
understudying.
Yeah, or for yeah, like for the Christmas show.
Yes, understudying for the Christmas show was the first time I was hired by Second City to do something like that.
Okay.
And like my first
Yeah.
improv class ever was at the Second City Conservatory. So thinking that I get to be on the main stage every so often, it's pretty surreal to think that I was on there.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Second City and like why is it an important like community or venue for you to perform in?
hmm No, for sure. I mean, Second City is probably the biggest improv and sketch comedy theater in
Yeah.
Toronto, if not all of Canada, I
Yeah.
guess. Oh man, I say that so badly.
No, it's okay. You're an actor. You can do it.
No. Second City is awesome. They provide like classes. They're the biggest stage here in the
Yeah.
city. Like tourists come in and see them. It's always sweet to see like sold out audiences there.
I've been there to see you for one musical.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's when I was
Yeah.
with performing with a Staccato, a musical improv troupe that was in last
It
year.
was very fun. Yeah.
They're awesome. Um,
Yeah, continue you continue your train of thought about
I
Second
don't know
City.
what else was I talking about. No, Second City is great. They're a massive like cornerstone of comedy theater here in Toronto.
Yeah. And then like what more projects are you willing to take upon this year and next that are challenging yourself?
I'm in a couple like scripted musical things upcoming. I'm in Players Toronto is a Shit's Rivalry, which is kind of like a jukebox musical. And it's all scripted. And then upcoming for Toronto Fringe Festival, I'm in Galen's Grocer, the musical, which we're also rehearsing for right now.
That's a lot of projects, Lance. I don't know how you do it. That's
It's fun. It's so much fun.
I don't know how you do it. Okay, so coming to more about like the process and practice of what you do. So, improv in general requires a lot of practice. And then like for musical improv elements themselves, you're taking the specific classes or courses you've taken where they're teaching you these specific like structures. So what's like what's your practice time versus performance time like, or do you just learn on the fly?
I mean, a lot of my improv journey was like front loaded with classes and workshops and stuff like that. But at
Mhm.
this point, I'm mostly just performing.
You learn on the
I'm
fly.
very lucky to be performing most of the time and not in classes anymore. Not to
Yeah.
say don't take classes. I just took a great workshop with Will Hines, who's a LA improviser. He's really awesome. But for the most part, I continually learn just from doing more reps on stage, and getting
That's
better there.
better. Yeah, because then you have like the active feedback. Like there's a feedback incentivized process, I guess.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's pretty interesting. Yeah, dude, like I've played music in a very different context with you. So it's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like yeah, it's
No,
because
the
we've
way we
just
play
like
music is
jammed
very
together.
different from all the other stuff I do.
Because like I can't even fathom because what we do is so rehearsed. We decide on a song well in
hmm
advance. We have time to look up chords. We can like do whatever. And then what you're doing is like on the fly, not just like making up lyrics, but then you have to make sure that you're in the beat. You have to make sure that you know you're like even if it's like a very basic pitch you're doing, you have to like modulate your voice in
hmm
specific manners, right? Like I
Yeah.
feel that yeah, that's
Yeah, to give
very
context
admirable.
to the listeners, me, Ishan, and our mutual friend Chris used to head to a studio room together and just play rock songs
Yeah.
that we'd read
Shout out
off
to
our
the
phones.
Bets. We've
Shout
learned
out
a
to the
lot from
Bets.
you.
I love the
Yeah.
Bets. People in Toronto know that I have a lot of Bets
Bets
t-shirts
give us free
because they're my favorite
tickets.
band.
Yeah.
Beach Bunny
Yep.
too. We love our Beach Bunny.
We love Beach
Um,
Bun.
but yeah, I'd play guitar. Chris would play guitar. You jam those
We play
drums.
drums. I'm still playing drums. That's what this podcast came out of. Me and Lance, I feel like we've talked about doing some podcast episode in some manner a lot of times, but I think this is how it materialized, and I'm really glad because it's like music and acting coming together.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. It's awesome that you're doing this.
Yeah, thank you. So wait, actually, talking about podcasts, you've done podcasts about improvs and like other topics as well. Do you want to shine some light upon those?
Yeah, I've done a few podcasts. I did the Kill to Death podcast a couple times, which is like an improvised murder
Okay,
mystery. What else have I done? I'm gonna feel so terrible not remembering all the the various ones
that's
I've done.
insane. Yeah.
I did the Blue Sky podcast where we like wrote a short spec script in the course of recording. We wrote like some Shakespeare time travel story. I did Prisoners of Ravnica, I think it's called, where it's like a improvised interview of like fantasy creatures. I played a vampire there. I hope I'm not forgetting any. Um,
You know what? Like, sorry to double down on like these type of podcasts because like this is a range of modern or contemporary like so as to say literature that like people are not even aware of. There's like a huge line of like just audio series podcasts which are literally just like fan fiction based series of like 6 seasons or like Dungeons and Dragons improvisations and podcasts and all. So are there any like particular niches that you've come across that you think are like super cool and that like more people should know about?
Oh man. Well, I love there's like great D&D live through plays out there, Critical Role and
Yeah.
Dimension 20, but those are super popular. I don't think I could call them
Yeah.
niche at this point. What else is there? I like reading books. That's pretty niche.
Okay, I guess, yeah. I've been reading the Odyssey because I took TLA 204 and I'm taking
Oh, shout out
Odyssey.
classics.
Yeah,
Shout out classics
classics.
U of T.
Classics U of T, both times. I passed just by reading Percy Jackson. To be honest, shout out to Canada.
That's awesome. I took
Yeah,
this crazy course at U of T that was like a mix between Greek mythology, Slavic folklore, and hip hop, which was insane. And this is
wow. What
before I
did
did any
you?
rapping. This was like in a first year seminar. It was
Damn.
crazy.
Was
It was
there
quite.
any music like related project you had to do for it, like
I
write or
think I wrote
rap?
about like one of Biggie's albums, Ready to Die, and I compared and contrasted it with some folklore tale from
Launch it on
Bulgaria or something.
SoundCloud. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's like pretty insane. I think I took like one course which is about music and musical culture, but it was more about like how it shapes and like how music is political and all. Yeah, which
Hmm.
is like something I want to talk about later in my podcast sometime. I have strong views upon it.
Politics and
Um,
music.
yeah, because like okay, so I'll just get into it like for 1 minute right now is
Okay.
in like I've come back to India from Canada and then last we were jamming, I was listening to a lot of punk rock songs, right?
Hmm.
And so I was trying to like find because punk rock's inherent like in motivation is that it's supposed to be anti-establishment or like it's supposed to be political and like a criticism of the government, right? And I realized that there is literally no like major mainstream punk rock band in India. And it's a huge
Mm.
country. And I was like, there's not even like probably yes, there's some songs about, like the freedom movements that we had from like colonialization times or colonization times or sorry. Like things like that. But then those are more like, more in the spirit of nationalism, etc. There's not
Hmm.
inherently like a line of music dedicated to the critique of government because it's usually like anti-free speech like laws and all like all
Whoa.
that stuff like come across, right? So it's a dangerous category. But I was just like, yeah, that's what I was thinking that, like music and politics, yeah, like sometimes if you might be snubbed as a musician if you speak anti-government. So
No, for
I think
sure.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
No, that's so interesting. I mean, punk rock is like rebellion manifest. So,
Are there any musical political satires, theaters, improvs?
um,
Shrek.
Shrek. I do love Shrek the musical. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess most most improv in Toronto is leftist bent.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's any like explicitly political
Wait, can I
kind of
actually ask you
shows.
something? You've seen like on YouTube, Shrek musical word for word, Matilda musical,
Oh yeah, I love those.
probably Harry Potter musical, and
A
like I
Harry
know
Potter musical. Shout them
the
out.
a Harry Potter musical shout out. So, but I feel that what I know from people is that these art forms are majorly like consumed live, right? Like these are
Oh yeah.
not similar to TV series which are made to be based on like like seen through TV. So
Hmm.
how many like actual musicals have you attended in person?
Have I seen
And
live?
yeah,
Oh
of
man, I
these.
mean a bunch. I mean Book of Mormon. I saw that twice. I saw that in New
Sure,
York
yeah.
and in Toronto recently. I saw Anne Juliet with my mom recently. She really loved it. I've seen Lion King. What else have I
Lion
seen?
King the musical, that's
Lion King
insane.
the musical, Sheeran Mervish.
That's
It ended recently, but I saw it before it went away, and it was really
Did
awesome.
any of these ever open the stage for you to come and perform? Or did you meet the artists ever?
There's no way. Not
No?
at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
Not right now. I mean, I'm in an upcoming like Fringe musical, which is like part of a musical theater collective at Theater Pass Marai, which has a whole bunch of musicals, and they're all independently produced. So that's exciting. But no, I've not been on a murder stage.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So, Lance, we're almost towards the end of our episode. Before we go, do you want to shout out any projects that you would like viewers to check out this year? And where are these projects happening? Are they online? Are they in person? And how can viewers
Hmm.
get tickets to them?
Oh man, I mean the two big ones upcoming that I've been rehearsing for are Shit's Rivalry, Comedy Bar Danforth. We have 6 shows in June, and then in Toronto Fringe Festival, like I said, is Galen's Grocer the musical, which is in the first 2 weeks of July. So check those out. I guess I'm also heading to Ottawa, for Ottawa Improv Festival this week, with the Scenario, which is like a hip hop improv troupe, part of.
Okay. And are these all available in your link tree? Because to anyone listening, I
I
would be
think so.
linking Lance's link tree and profile in the caption below, so everybody has access to it. Yeah. Perfect. All
Check out
right.
my
So
Instagram.
for anybody who's inspired by musical improv contemporary artist Lance Oribello is a very forthcoming actor, and I wish him luck in his journey.
I'm
But
so
yeah, I'll
forthcoming,
see
it's
you guys next
crazy.
time on the Noteless podcast. Yeah. I'll see you guys on the next Noteless podcast next time. Lance, thank you for coming on today. Bye bye, everybody.
Thanks for having me, man.